Welcome back. I'm making this video for people that might not have seen the Investigating War Crimes documentary from Aljazeera. It was published October 2024. It has 2.2, almost 2.2 million views and 100,000 likes. I want to highlight a segment from this documentary that stayed with me since I watched it back in October. And I want to add some commentary here as well. While I do think that you should just look at the documentary, I also realize that some people will find it difficult to watch a documentary that is showing war crimes. I also can imagine that some people would like someone to hold their hand while watching something like this. And whatever it is I can do to get this to reach more people, to really try to empathize with the people in Gaza. Because sometimes it's just, for a lot of people, like I remember that comment from Asmongold with, they're not like us. And then we're looking at families there with kids, fathers, mothers, grandparents, and all their possessions, everything that they have. So they were staying at the UN school and then were forced to move. So they're going to the hospital, and one would assume that the hospital is a safe location, but it is not. And it's not just at the risk of getting bombed, because that's what we always hear about, right? Like all hospitals have been bombed. It's also just people shooting at them. So before we reach this scene, there was a kid killed, shot to death, in front of the gates of the hospital, and they could not go and pick up the body. There was also a scene, so imagine you're working at that hospital and you can see someone dying in front of you, but you can't cross the yard to go and get him from the gate. So the kid is just laying there dying and dead when we see it.
Opposite the hospital. That evening, Mohammed is almost killed again.
So the journalist she's talking about was shot in the back, and his press vest, stopped the bullet, and the bullet hit the press sign on the vest.
When I am walk here with
He's like among those people.
my friend Ibrahim.
All right, so this part is really going to show, like, what you also now didn't see was constant, the sound of shots hitting something close, and the people at the hospital not being able to go out, not be able to cross the street, and they had built a system, like a thing with a trolley and two ropes, so they could get water from one side of the street to the other side. And it's not like it's nature that is dividing them. It's humanity, or the lack of. So I want to zoom in on what is coming up now.
His assistant camera, and suddenly the shot, maybe a sniper or quadcopter, and my friend Ibrahim, he's shot.
Sniper or quadcopter, so they don't even know if it's a human shooting at them or if it's a drone. Quadcopter, officially you should call it a quadcopter. I know that there's a difference. I don't know exactly what it is. The number of propellers, I think. His friend Ibrahim is shot.
In his legs by Israel.
In his legs.
Two shots. And
two shot is like, okay, so they were really targeting him, right?
I am running away to emergency, like I am drop myself, like so.
Like in a movie where, you know, when they're shooting and you're taking cover and you're jumping for cover.
Fast, but he can't, and he's shot.
He's hit in his legs. So this scene, I think, is really important before we go to the next one. He's in that tent thing. Let me see if I can just fully zoom in. He's in that tent thing, and he can't reach them because he's shot in the legs. And they can't go there to pick him up.
Here
he's just
Ibrahim
bleeding to death.
in this tent. and he is he's so dangerous. Here the doctor, he tell him what he can do to
Let that sink in. The doctor can't even go there, so he's just telling him to probably, put something on his leg so it doesn't bleed out.
stay alive, because we can't get him, we can't take him.
Like, none of us that has not been in such a situation can imagine what that's like. You want to help your friend, he's bleeding to death, but there's people that shot him that will try to shoot you as well. Like, if you see this, you suddenly realize, like, there is no going out with a white flag. It's beyond that, and has been beyond that for so long. This is from October 2024. It just,
Here is Dr. Hero, Amira. Here, she give me her t-shirt
so she's a doctor.
to save, and I'm take this t-shirt now. And here some
She's a doctor.
nurse saying, no, don't go.
They need her, right? As a doctor, you don't want to die because you're there to help people survive. But she's just going for it.
So dangerous, the shot here. She's saying, no, be silent, please. Don't make me stressed.
She's like, I'm already stressed out. You're making it worse. So, like, she has decided. Just suddenly hit me, the panic in her voice.
And here she's saying, silent, and she's really angry. She needs help.
Yeah.
She's a hero. And here she really going. And she saved Ibrahim's life. She saved it. She's saying here, he's alive, he's alive.
If you have a scope and you're hitting the guy in the leg with 2 shots, you're seeing enough to realize that these people are not a threat.
Help me, help me. And the doctor really going and help her. And I'm taking this video and I can't believe this. This is my friend, he's beside me. He's shot.
Put yourself in his shoes. He fell. Do you think they're going to hold back and not shoot when they hit the other guy in the leg? Because he has to walk with...
And he's beside me.
They not only have to get there, they need to get him back to the hospital. So they need to put him on a stretcher. So he's running there with the stretcher because she didn't bring the stretcher. She's the doctor. She needs to be there first, assess the situation, help him, because she doesn't know if the guy with the stretcher will arrive.
He's shot.
My heart would sink. Like, imagine standing there and watching him run and then trip. Like, the total... It's like completely in panic. This does not happen unless you're completely panicked. Because there's so much you're thinking about. Just, is this it? Is this it? You can hear the shots.
And I can't help him, but this here woman, she helped him. Then the woman is like really hero.
4 people, all
Palestinian
heroes.
woman is like the best woman in all the war.
And they probably just live because they decided to not shoot this time. How many people, man?
شعور صعب جدا جدا انه انت يكون زميلك قدامك ومش قادر
It's hard when your friend or colleague is shot in front of you and there's nothing you can do.
شعور لا يوصف.
3 days later, a tank orders the evacuation of the hospital.
This is the segment that I wanted to discuss with you guys and show you. So they're looking at it, at the tank from the hospital. And they want the hospital to be evacuated, so everyone needs to get out. It's a hospital, right? Imagine, you've been in a hospital, you visited one. Imagine a tank in front of it saying everyone needs to get out.
Referring to those inside as Al-Hayawanat, animals.
On the speaker, they're calling them animals. You animals need to all get out of the hospital, basically. Which is a clear indication that they don't care about any of them. Doesn't matter age, kids, elderly. Has nothing to do with what happened on that day. Because there's so many people that had nothing to do with what happened on that day. Didn't influence it in any way. Didn't get to vote for even the political party that is
And he's
Hamas.
saying, go out, animals, dogs. He's speak people like animals, dogs, go out.
This so the guy on the left, next to my head, it's about that guy. And it just immediately made me think, what is he wearing? He stands out.
The Israelis send a Palestinian detainee to tell the people to leave.
A detainee. So they detained him. If he was an actual terrorist, would they have asked him to go and tell them to leave? Because why would you wouldn't do that, right? You have enough other people that you can sacrifice for this, not someone you know that has done something. So the fact that he's walking there, they tied his hands. He has like a white. Am I blocking it? Yeah, I'm blocking it. Let me go to the right. Wait, I don't want to block this. So you can see it here on the left.
His name?
Seems like a young guy. His hands are tied. So imagine you're part of that group at the hospital. And suddenly you see a Palestinian very young guy. He's not old. You see him with his hands tied in a white outfit. And you just wonder, what have you experienced up to this point? He has
Jamal
a
Abu
yellow thing around his head. Yellow band.
Al-Ola.
I cannot see if he's wearing any shoes. No, he's walking bare feet. There you go. There you see him. Everyone is surrounding him like, dude, what happened? Why did they send you here?
The Israelis send a Palestinian
So
detainee.
they're not evacuating the hospital because they're being shot at. They can't even pick up the dead body of that kid. So they're using him
to tell the people to leave.
to tell the
His
people to
name
leave.
is Jamal Abu Al-Ola.
He seems like a nice guy. Like, these are humans. And they call them animals. But just imagine if you're in their shoes. Because that was our perspective up to this point. We're in the hospital. We can't get out. We're told to leave, but we're also called animals. We know that they shoot at us and they kill us as they please. There are no repercussions. And then this kid is being sent. This kid is being sent. Let me put the screen right here. Yeah. All right, this is better. He needs to be centered here. on his bare feet in a white outfit. He probably hasn't done anything. Or they wouldn't have released him to go and tell anyone anything because, well, then he could just leave. If he has done something, you will not let him leave. That doesn't compute. Just a young guy. Jamal Abu Al-Ola.
Mother is inside the hospital.
So now we get to see pictures of him. This, yeah. Probably should edit these parts out where I'm not really saying anything. I want to make it fit. 1 second. Bear with me. So we see his face and he seems like a young adult. He has some gray hairs, friendly eyes, his mom as well. In the background you can see that it's a tent with like wood. So this is like a late picture. Not that long before we see him walk into the hospital terrain or square at the front.
جريت جراي حتى ما لبست برجلي من كتر ما أنا كنت بدي أطمن.
This is his mom. I ran barefoot to my son.
على ابني وجراي فتت على.
In the A&E department, I found everyone crowding around Jamal. These are, oh man, like seeing dead bodies, you see so many, and now you're really, even if it's such a short part of the documentary, it feels like you get to know him. And it's this part is really that made me just sad. Like, I cannot describe how sad I felt. Looking at it from the perspective of the mom, running towards her kid, she sees a crowd around him. What goes through her head? Here, or where you live, if your parents see people around you, they will assume the worst. But he's standing there, wearing that strange outfit. This video is just so important for me because it really captures what it must have been like there from both perspectives. And he just seems like a young guy in the middle of his life. And they use zip ties for his hands. They're expecting him to come back. Right? I'm assuming that you realize that. Like, his hands are tied, he has the outfit, he has the thing around his head so he can easily be identified. He has to convince them to evacuate the people that they call animals. And his mom is there as well. They told me to tell you guys to evacuate. She hugs her son, but she knows something feels off. The first thing he said was, "They beat the hell out of me, Mom." I have come with a message for the displaced people in the hospital. These scenes are just, they're etched in my brain. He's saying you should leave in 10 minutes or they will bomb the hospital on top of everyone. I'm not going to constantly ask you to try and believe what it is that he's saying. and try to explain to you how it's ridiculous to think that he's not saying what they told him to tell them. You need to leave the hospital in 10 minutes or they will bomb the hospital on top of everyone. So many hospitals have already been bombed. It's a very scary message. You're at the most safe place you think, the hospital, where they save people. And they're telling you to go out, face the soldiers that are aiming their scopes and sniper rifles at you, at your kids, at your grandparents. Just people talking to the guy. I don't know if he knows them. They're all panicked and afraid. You can see the lady on the left of him. You can see the eyebrows. You can see the panic in her face. Scared. Everyone is scared. It's so weird to see him, and it makes me feel like I know him. I don't know how many people have had that feeling watching this documentary, but just the footage of him standing there and people talking to him, wearing that weird outfit which makes him stand out, and the crowd around him. And they will kill you if I don't return. They will kill his mother. They told him, we will kill your mother. Like all of them, right? Bomb the hospital. Oh no, he says, they will kill you if I don't return. So he needs to go back, or they will kill other people. Like he needs to go back. Let that sink in, guys. This is his mom. He's out here. He's close. He's alive. He has been hurt. But he will be okay if he can just stay with her and they don't drop a bomb on the hospital. But he has to go back or they will drop a bomb on the hospital or kill them. Maybe they even said, we will kill your mother, because they might know that she's there. But just put yourself, I don't have kids, but put yourself as a parent in her shoes and realize how she must have felt when he told her, I need to go back or they will kill you. You have to say goodbye. I didn't understand. I said, don't listen to them. Stay here. Which is a very natural reaction. Like, she's worried. He already said they beat the hell out of me. No, mother, they have threatened to kill you. So he just knows, I need to go back. 10 minutes to convince a crowd of people to leave a hospital which feels safe, which feels safer than the street because they're shooting them. 10 minutes to convince them to come out. This is probably around where I need to stop the video as well if I don't want to show you the last images. But you can see him walk away. And you just look at how many people are walking with him. Has he convinced them to evacuate? The conversation lasted just a couple of seconds. Let me go back. A second, and then he flew from me like a dove. Everyone is scared of walking in that direction, and he just has to do it or they'll kill his mom and everyone there. The entire time while I was watching this, and this is why I think maybe it's good that I'm making this video, because he's not going to survive.
What we appear to be seeing here is a civilian being used to be a messenger, used as a military asset. That's in many ways, the definition of using persons as a human shield to shield what you're trying to do as the army by putting people in harm's way. That's prohibited under international law.
الاحتلال الآن
They have told us to evacuate immediately.
بشكل رسمي بيعلن انه يجب اخلاء المستشفى بشكل كامل وفوري وسريع. حقيقة
But we
يعني
don't know
لا
where to
أعلم
go
أين الوجهة التي
or whether there
سنتوجه
are any safe
إليها وهل
passages.
هناك طريق آمن كما
So no other directions, just evacuate. When they have witnessed people being shot and killed, hearing the bullets pass by very close to their
يدعي
bodies.
على ثقة هذا شوف انظر
You can see a kid running there at the end of the street, and you just wonder, like, is that a safe place to run?
يأمرنا
You've seen the crowd stopping here, and he did walk.
بالاخلاء ويقوم بإطلاق النار
He
بشكل
has to go back.
متواصل.
Shortly afterwards,
There he is. There he is. In the distance.
Jamal returns.
Here we can see in this video
He's just standing there in the distance. He's trying to scream and say something to them.
here he's trying saying go out.
Evacuate. Because he doesn't want the hospital to be bombed.
But people is worried because it's no safe.
They're just too scared.
He's a liar. He's big liar, massive liar.
Jamal's mother is among a small group of people who
So some people start walking towards him.
follow Jamal.
Jamal's mom is among a small group of people who follow Jamal.
أنا رحت على الخيمة وتلقيتها فكرت في لحظة هيك في لحظة تيهان عاجل لإلي إني بدي آخذ لبس لإلهم وأطلع فيه شنط حتى الناس لما تشوفني أنا كأمه.
Let me rewind. I went to my tent.
وتلقيتها فكرت في لحظة هيك في لحظة تيهان
And
عاجل
in my anguish, I gathered clothes and left with bags in
لإلي
hands.
إني بدي آخذ لبس لإلهم وأطلع فيه شنط
So
حتى
that
الناس
when
لما
people
تشوفني
saw me
أنا
being his mother, they would follow me.
كأمه إن طلعت كمان أنا يطلع
Because she also feels like they will bomb the hospital. We have to listen.
معايا ويسلم ابني وما ينقتلش. فحين بقول لك
As I approached, Jamal was shot by a sniper. As she was walking in that direction, he was shot by a sniper.
أنا
I don't think I should show you. So I'll put it away on another screen. I will play the audio and explain what I'm seeing. And it's obviously going to hit you harder when you just see him there. See a picture of him dead.
عند ما عديت بدي أعدي على جمال بالشناتي جمال تم قنصه. الطلقة الأولى
My son fell backwards. He screamed, "Oh, mother."
ارتمى فيها على ظهره ابني قف على ظهره صرخ بعلى الصوت ساعتها يمه يما ساعتها
And she's very emotional and starts to cry.
أنا كأنه حاسس إن أنا
I
وراه.
said, "Here I am, son, right behind you."
صرخت كمان أنا حتى عليه
She knows he's dying.
قلت له يما أنا بظهرك هيني وراك. أنا حفوت على الجو.
I shall go to the hospital and get them to help you. The only hope she has.
وعلى المستشفى أجيب كيسة
Like how everything suddenly changes again.
فوق بالي في رجله
I thought it was just his leg.
بس مش عارفة إنها مميتة
I
كانت
didn't
لابني.
know it was fatal for my son.
طخوها للطلقة
Then they fired 2 more bullets.
كمان طلقتين لما طخوا التنتين
Jamal's body was shaking.
كان جسمه جمال يهتز ما رحم
One bullet wasn't enough
مش
for
يعني
them.
بطلقة واحدة وبس.
So the scene that I'm seeing now is I see some sand. I see a guy opening a body bag. And you see that face. That same guy that we just got to know. Dead.
جمال طبعا اتضرب.
I've seen a lot of footage of people dying. There are websites that have those type of videos and it makes you upset. But it just hits different when you know that this happened right after that moment and you're like just getting to know him and you have so many questions. Do they have other family? What did he want to be? What did he study? What type of work did he have? Was he in a relationship? It's just one of the many
الكيل اللي
people.
صار فيه والتعذيب هذا. احنا شفنا بس اللي على وجهه.
Signs of torture.
صار لما دخلوه على العناية كان دم كل جسمه.
Let me go
كيل.
back. So he was wearing that white outfit. He seems to still be wearing that outfit. Yeah. But you just see that he is dead. His face. That stare.
جمال طبعا.
What did you expect him to do? You told him to go tell them to evacuate and they were evacuating. And you just killed him anyway. She says Jamal was beaten and tortured.
ضرب والتنكيل اللي صار فيه والتعذيب هذا. احنا شفنا بس اللي على وجهه.
We only saw what was on his face. When he was admitted to the ICU, his entire body was bloodied. I'm glad they didn't show those pictures.
The following day, the displaced people finally leave the hospital, led by the hospital's director. The long journey south lasts into the night.
You didn't see him being dead in the body bag. I'm saving that. I'm saving you from that. I kind of hope, maybe I'm wrong, that this video has reached at least a couple of other people that haven't seen the documentary, that are too afraid to watch something like this. And I get that. So, what are my thoughts? Why is this bugging me constantly? He's not a terrorist. He has not done anything. If that was the case, then you would never send him to the hospital. He's already your prisoner because he's captured. He's in your possession. He can't go anywhere. You physically abuse him, hit him, torture him. Probably has nothing to share with you guys, so you keep torturing him. And then you just decide to use him as a tool. He has one last use for you. The people you just called animals over the speaker or the megaphone are scared of you. They don't dare coming out, and you're telling them to come out. You're calling them animals. You're surprised people are not coming out. So you decide to use him like a tool that you replace. Now we have another one. How many do we have? Like a game. when you just run out of a certain item. But why? Even in a game, you don't get rid of an item. Why? Didn't he do exactly what you asked him to do? He tried to convince them, and he managed to convince some people. His mom even did her best to convince more people by showing them that she is your mom, his mom. And then you probably see that as well, right? Whoever you are that got the hit, because you probably shot him, multiple people, because multiple bullets, or is it one of you that was like comparing this to practicing at the range? Why would you kill him? Why would you shoot him?
مستشفى ولادنا زحين يخرجوا.
You just used him as a messenger. Even a pigeon that would bring a tiny letter from one location to another. Even a pigeon would not get killed. He did everything you asked. He's clearly not someone you want to have anymore in your possession for some reason. Sounds like you didn't find anything on him. You didn't get anything out of him. You tortured him. And then you just used him as a tool. Her kid that she nurtured. I will never forget his face. It feels like I know him. For what? Why didn't you keep using him as a messenger? If he was effective, if he was able to convince people to come out. Doesn't matter what perspective you use to look at this. Everything about this is wrong. Why don't you fly a stupid drone with a letter attached to it? Why don't you say that, like, why use him? Can you not imagine that they are scared when you call them animals? And you've already shot a kid, you've bombed hospitals. What would you do? What would they do, the people that killed him? What would they do if they were in this situation and in the hospital? What would they have done? They would have been scared. Can you imagine what went through the head of that mom? And even up till the last moment, she thought he was just hit in the leg. But it was fatal, and she could see her son shaking, realizing that she did tell him not to go back. But he didn't want to put all the people in danger. So even if you look at it from their completely psychotic perspective, he could have just stayed there. That's what you think a lot of people would do. Say the message, give him the message and say, I know that they're probably going to kill me. I don't want to die. Probably no one around you would tell you you need to go back or they will kill us. Because they're all in it together. They're not going to allow someone to be sacrificed for nothing. There are no guarantees. Look at the kids in the background. also trying to be kids, but they can't. Imagine having your parents there and they're constantly panicked. They're constantly worried that they will die, that you will die or maimed. Like everything about this segment just makes it something I cannot forget. The outfit, the yellow bandana, or it's just a piece of they ripped it off something clearly, so it's like they're being pragmatic. We need him to stand out. You have his life in your hands, and one of you or multiple people of you decide, hey, we tortured the guy. We know that he has nothing. He has not done anything, and he has no information that could help us with anything. He's just an innocent guy. Just an innocent guy, one of the many. Let's use him as a tool, and then just get rid of him. Not just get rid of him and let him go, or dropping him off somewhere in the middle of nowhere and forcing him to walk all the way to his family. That's also horrible, but you just kill him. And it sounds like when he was on the ground, you kept firing at him. He didn't have a weapon. There can be no confusion about him having a weapon. By now, I think people realize, except for Lonerbox, that this is deliberate, that you didn't accidentally shoot him. You cannot claim that this guy was a terrorist because you sent him out there in that clothing. Well, I will revisit this video again. Let me know what you think. Do you think it's valuable for me to really zoom in on war crimes? Take my time to narrate it, provide my commentary? Am I reaching more people, or have you all seen the documentary already? Maybe you do think it's valuable to talk about this. Like, after I watched it, like, how do you do that? Do you tell your friends, like, dude, let me mess with your head? Do you have like half an hour? I want to mess with your head. I want to do something that will stay on your mind, maybe until the end of time. You're like, you don't know. How will they react? Are they going to cry? Are they going to get pissed because they don't want to think about this stuff? They have their own troubles. Well, I can just throw it up on YouTube. There is so much horrible footage, also on YouTube. And I watched a lot of footage, not just from the genocide, but in general. Like, I've seen a lot of videos. Some are really horrific, and you really should not be looking at those. I've seen a lot of horrific videos, like car accidents, motorcycle accidents. And that stays with you also. Here you do not see that. You only see his face and his head in the body bag when they open the zipper. And you just recognize the face because it feels like you know him. So many years ahead of him. Just feels like he's one of the guys in your friend group. Like everyone knows him. He's like a popular guy. if you were just born there. Do you think the mom feels guilty for not just preventing him from going back? She listened to her kid and then lost her kid. There's so many questions, and when you're watching a documentary on this, but you're not talking to someone about it, you're just trying to process it. I hope this helps for me as well, because it really has been on my mind since I saw it. And there's just so much more. Thank you for tuning in. I'll see you next time.